Hello. We'll give everybody a little time and then share all the links. We'll give everybody a little time to come in. Hello. Give everybody a little time to come in. Always takes everybody a couple minutes to get going. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Susan. Hi, Mitz, Mindy Mitz. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Mama. Hi, Janet. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Give everybody a little time to get in. Oh, really, Mindy? Oh my gosh, I'm burning up. A bee journal, awesome. Make sure you use those hexes from last night. Those are so cute as honeycombs. Oh, if you do those and then like sew a little bee charm in the middle, they're so cute. Mary, hello to you too, but you forgot your O, my dear. How's everybody doing? Let's see, who is it? Junk with Steph. If you're familiar with Stephanie, Junk with Steph has a cute. It's not really a bee journal. It's more of like a beekeeper journal, maybe. It's called the Honey Pot. It's cute. It's okay, Mary. I know it was a typo. Mom, stop. You guys are so silly. Do you like my mess I've made? It is a big mess. We give everybody a little bit of time to get in, a couple minutes. Whew. On this lazy Sunday. We know, Mary. We know what you meant, dear. Oh, well, thank you, Mindy. It's going to be pretty, hopefully. I like pretty messes. So we give everybody just a couple minutes. I like my little birdie square. I almost thought about not using it for this. Because it's so pretty. I thought about using something else. I actually have this really ugly stripe I thought about using. I think I will. I saved my birdie for a card. My poor little birdie. I know, right? But I want to save this, I think, for a tag. Because he's so cute. And you just sew around him. This actual piece of, or, just to sew down is a fabric flip in a journal because he's so cute. I know. I need to make another quilt. I've been debating about it. I need to make another quilt. Well, I'll give everybody about another minute. People may be coming in slow tonight. I know it's starting to get nice and they're starting to lift things. So people are slowing down some, which is fine. People are busy. If you notice, my hands have this, maybe you guys can't see the yellowness on them. It's really yellow. I made turmeric pills for my dad today for my herbal things or whatever. So the turmeric all stained my hands and I can't get it off. It was a lot worse. My hands were like covered in yellow. You can still see up on it where it's. I'll give everybody one more minute and then we'll get started. So how's everybody else doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's feeling good, not under the weather. Nothing major going on. This one white block in the middle sort of looks out of place, I think, just because it's so bright and white. It almost looks like it needs a different color, doesn't it? Do I have a purple I could use? Purple's always good. I'm sitting here looking, going, oh, I would switch this out. Oh, switch that out. And that's basically what you're going to do. Is you're just going to hunt around your scraps till you find some that work together that you like, sort of the mix up. And sort of use this as my pattern to guide me with. So I'm going to get rid of that. I think I will put this here, which means I can cut a little bit of this off. That'll go right there. And that'll go right there. There we go. I think it looks better than with that big white spot in the middle. It was just too bold, too white. Too much light in all of it. And I sort of like how this sort of veers over. But I could put the yellow over there, I guess. Nope, maybe the yellow over here. Nope, I like the yellow up here. And this here. I think I like it the way it looks. Okay, we will go ahead and get started. We're working on fabric pages tonight. So I will just basically I grab scraps. Different size scraps that I have and sort of cut them down. Like this one I haven't cut down yet, but I will when I get closer to it. If it overhangs, then I just cut it off at the end. So since it's on the end, I don't really care because anything I cut off around when I trim it will come off. So I just picked fabric scraps that sort of blend together. So I sort of used this as a palette, and pulled some of the blues, some of the green, well, not a lot of the greens, some of the lighter blues. And then from there, just built off of the different colors that I used. So now I'm just going to pull these back, and I just sort of like keeping them where they're going to go. It just makes it easier to me to keep track of, what's going on with it. Lori! I didn't see you come in. I am so sorry. I was staring away at my little mess here. Let's see. Yeah, this goes here. And this one's going to go here. This is our center. So this is pretty much my center. So let me grab, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. Oh, that was loud. I am so sorry, guys. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac and I'm going to use my silicone brush. Okay, and I'm just going to build this page up. And then I sort of have two cute little things we're going to do. So I know about where that's going to be. So I just put some Fabri-Tac on there. And, we know Fabri-Tac dries not really super fast. Yes, Lori, I love your room. I wish mine was that organized with doing all these lives and stuff. Oh my gosh, mine looks horrid right now. I don't even want to talk about it. Every time I go, I'm going to clean it up, and it just doesn't get done because this happens or that happens. Okay. So I always start in the middle. I just pick my central square, and it doesn't have to be centered. It just needs to be sort of towards the middle, and I glue it down. So, and you'll see me move this up 100 times trying to figure out where I want to put it, because this goes here and here, because this is going to go here. Okay, so first things first, you have to sort of do it like a puzzle. Oh, I bet I would not be able to find anything forever. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue down this side, about 1/4 of an inch, not quite 1/4 of an inch, just right there on the edge. This is right next to it, so I'm going to flip it over face to face. Face to face. And we're basically quilting, but we're quilting with glue. So instead of sewing, oh no, Lori. So instead of sewing, we're going to glue it, because we're going to go over it and sew it in a little while. And maybe put some beads on it, make it all crazy. We'll see. We'll see what we get done. Okay. So have that. So see, then when I fold it back over, I just want to finger crease that right along that fold, right along where I glued. And let me pull it up here. Just like when you quilt, you're going to have that nice seam right like that. So you just created a seam. Okay. So I know this goes along the bottom of here. So I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to go right along the edge. Now, if you have a sewing machine, feel free to sew it. But I know a lot of people don't. Or if they have it, maybe they're just not super, super experienced with sewing or quilting. This sort of lets you learn without having to risk that bumming up. I am using Fabri-Tac. You can use whatever fabric glue. If you want to use hot glue, you can. Yeah, it's Fabri-Tac. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to fold it, and I let it set for a little bit. Let it set up. Don't just throw it on there and flip it over, because, it's just going to come off. So let it set up a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over, and again, I'm going to take my fingers, and I'm going to do my fold. Just like you would iron. Right like that. See? Super easy. So we're going to go ahead and finish out this side because it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to take this side right here, and I'm just going to add a little glue down the side. Just a little Fabri-Tac. And then remember, you have to fold it back. So I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to put just a tad bit over the edge of my paper. And I'm just going to line it up, make sure it matches. Again, push it down, put some pressure, push that glue through all your different layers, let it have time to dry. And you can use your silicone brush and, go through if you're worried about getting your hands super gluey. I personally, doing this, I don't use a massive amount of glue. So it doesn't usually run through too bad on me. And I just give it a little bit of time. Lori, did you have a good birthday? What'd you do to celebrate? Other than your new room, which is fabulous. Okay. I'm going to pull that up just a little bit. I'm going to pull this just so it meets the edge of my paper. And if you have a little string of Fabri-Tac, you just pull it up. I am going to crease really good. Okay, this is on the edge of my paper. So I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to go right around the edge of my paper, just enough to hold it down. It doesn't have to be super crazy thick. And don't glue your glass mat like I just did. There's a surprise. Let me grab a baby wipe to wipe my board with real fast. This works on your room. It looks so good. And it's so funny, Lori, because, I'm like, I was showing my husband pictures because I adore your rug. And I'm like, you know what? That is so funny because I like the whole gray and turquoise and black and white. Those are like sort of my... Oh, Karen, thank you. Yeah, it is not... It's nice. It's sort of relaxing. If you like putting puzzles together, then you'll like this because you have to sort of think and process, like, what am I going to do? Where does this go? How do I get this in there? Yeah, so it makes it sort of neat. So I'm going to work this part up here. And I know I've got to reach this here, so I have to put some glue across here. So I'm actually going to put it across here. And this one's going to be tricky because you have to do both things. Although technically you could wait for that. Okay, so the thing of it is to always remember, like, I know this is going to go there, so I'm going to fold a 1/4 inch back and sort of pre-fold it in prep because, it'll save me a little time. So again, I'm just going to finger press. Then I'm going to line it up with my other one here and push it down and let it glue. Now this little tip right here, I could have waited until I did my next piece here, and I actually can do that real fast. While this one's drying, I'm going to grab my glue, run across this piece right here. Okay, and I have this little piece of blue here. So I'm going to put it down like that. Again, I'm going to come up on this one, figure out about how far up I need to go with the glue so I get that 1/4 inch fold on that one too, because that's going to need glued down too. And if that gets on that fabric, it's not going to hurt anything right there. Oh, wow, Lori, that was a find, man. It was gorgeous. I think it's so cute. Okay. So this one's sort of tricky, like I said, because we're going to have to, oops, I did that wrong. So don't do it that way. You have to wait till you, well, you didn't have to, but it's easier to wait till you flip it. That way I can fold it under. And again, I'm going to finger press. And if you have a small iron, hi, April. Yeah, if you're not good at sewing, this is a good answer. Or like, I'm sort of getting in this whole summer coming, a lot of times you travel, you could take a small board with you, like even like a glass cutting board or a wooden cutting board. April's in the house. Oh, there's Cheryl too. Here, Cheryl, if you snuck in, I did not see you. I am so sorry. But yeah, like if you're going to be on vacation, you can take like a wooden cutting board or one of the hard plastic cutting boards, just a small one, just small enough to press on. And, you could do this and you could do it like on the large index cards and then sew the large index cards together to make a full page or take a page and do it. So tons and tons and tons of ideas. Okay, so remember I only took this so far up, so I'm just going to sort of fold this out of the way because I do have to make this match now. So I'm going to do this over there. I'm not going to worry about this one side over there because I can go back and get it in a little bit. I'm just going to make sure that it's that 1/4 inch over because, if you're sewing, you do that 1/4 inch seam. And I'm going to fold it down. Let it dry. Because if you let it dry a little bit, it helps. I'm going to fold it up, make my nice crease. And you just keep adding. So I may have to add a little more because this didn't go all the way to the top. So I'll have to add another little piece there. Or I can trim my page down. For what I'm doing, I may not need it that far up. We'll see in a minute when I get finished. And I'm going to go up all the way up to there. I'm going to leave the top open on this in case if I decide to stick another one in there, then you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. Let me see if I have another scrap of something. Let's see, what colors do I have? Do I have a scrap of? I have this. I will use this. So I'm going to fold this back a little bit, crease a little bit with my fingers. I'm going to come through, little bit of glue, and it doesn't matter if it gets on the paper because I'm at the edge of the paper. And if you get it on the paper while you're doing it, that's just going to give you a little bit more hold. And so, don't fret about that. If, you get a little bit on there, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay. And it doesn't matter if it's straight or if it's crooked because it's a crazy quilt type thing. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on top here though, which I managed to get everywhere but on top. Oh my. Yay, Cheryl. Yes, Lori, it would be. Now, if you have a sewing machine, once you glue it down, you can go in with your sewing machine and tack it down to design it. I'm actually going to do some of it by hand to show you not only how you can do it to add a little bit more flavor to it, I guess is the word, but also to be able to like add beads and We can sew lace over it and all that kind of stuff. So, and just exactly how extreme you can get with some of these. Okay, so that is there, which means this part goes next. Let me see, because everything moved. So let me see. That goes there. Oh, nope. That goes there. That goes there. That will go there. That will go there. That will go there. And let's see. Maybe not. Let's see. Let me cut this into a longer rectangle because it's easier to work with rectangles at first. If you're beginning, you can do triangles and all that kind of different things. You could remember last night how we made the little hexes. You could literally fill your whole page up with hexes. Oh, April, we was talking about you. We always talk about April. Okay, so there we go. So let's start with these two. Let's slide this over here. I'm going to trim this one down because, that's a whole nother little square we could use on another cover. And I'm going to start up at the top first. Go away. And the thing of it is to remember, always just put right sides together. Yes, I am going to do some hand stitching, adding some lace, some beads, stuff like that when I get done. And when I do that, I'll pull my camera down farther, hopefully, so you can see it better. Do what, Mandy? Did I miss you? What I don't I missed the whole Cheryl thing. So somebody said something, I bet. Okay. Now I'm going to fold this over because remember we have to have that 1/4 inch. Did I just... Nope, I did it right. Whew. I was like, I think I did it wrong. Not that that would be the first. And the thing of it is to remember, and this is why I'll tell you right now, I only use my scraps. I don't use my really, really awesome fabrics for this. I use my scraps because if you mess up and you make a mistake, and it's scraps, if you have to tear it off and throw it away, it's no biggie. If you use, your really pretty, most favorite, fabric or whatever, then you're not too happy when you have to throw it away. I should have saved just a little bit more, but I think I can get it. I'm going to put just a little, I'm going to pull this up. Let me pull the blue up real fast because this purple is a little short, but I've got extra blue. So I'm just going to throw some glue down under the purple and stabilize it. There we go. This is already folded under from where I put some glue earlier. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on top of the purple right along the edge. What did we say about you? Oh, you just don't want to know. We are making fabric pages, and we're basically crazy quilting with glue. Oh, yeah, that is so fun. Marty's in the house, too. Marty's here. Okay, for all of my regulars that are here like every night, and I know there's a lot of you guys here that are regulars, you may want to, let me remember how I was doing this. I'm going to put this here. Watch, I'll change this up about 10 times. Oh, let's put this one here. I think it would look pretty there. I'm going to change it up, you guys, because, that's what I do. I don't want to use that. I already used that. That's scrap. That was a scrap. This goes here. And this goes here. And that goes here. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's do this one. No, let's do this one here. There's one less seam. And we'll do that one there, and that one there. We didn't do this right. Somebody did something wrong. I bet it was me. Okay, this goes here. Let's see, this is going to go here. How did I end up short? I ended up short, guys. Well, it'll be really close. Okay, Lori, eat the cake for us. I love birthday cake. I like homemade birthday cake. Though I need to go over because I have that hole right there, so I'm going to go over a little bit farther on here than I normally do. Just because that is right there. Remember, we're going to go right side to right side. And you always want to match your edges up. I need to put this down a little farther. Like I said, I'm cutting this up to do some. Why did you end up short? I know, right? I'm 5'4". So I'm just this little bitty thing. And sometimes I'm like, but then my one son is 16 and he's 5'11". I know, we was worried about you last night. We're so used to our April being here, and April wasn't here. So we were all wondering where April was. So we were all talking about you. Did you talk to April? Do you know anything? Nope. And I know I had talked to you earlier that day, but didn't really know what was going on. But then you said you were just relaxing. Yes, say it Sunday is up, and the word is art. Yeah, well, my son's 16, which means, he's not done growing yet. Oops, I needed to fold this one over. I need to crease this a little bit. Finger crease. And I may have to move it up a little bit because I didn't finger crease it when I went to put it in there. We'll see. Yep, I will. Have to move it up a bit because I didn't finger crease my little space. And you gotta love Fabri-Tac because it lets you do that even when you do it. But all my kids, everybody in my house is taller than me. Yeah, let's no awkwardness, guys. Okay. Yes, my brother's like 6'3". Everybody got the height but me. I didn't get the height, but I got the width. Oh, sometimes I make myself laugh. What I don't get in height, I get makeup for in width. Oops, I glued it. Okie dokie. So we have to remember that we have a seam over here. So I'm going to lay that way. And again, this is just like a puzzle. You just piece it together. And if you mess up, you just take it apart. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, I'm not square, but I'm a pretty big oval. And I had 3 pregnancies and 4 kids. So let's just say my muffin is one of those really big bulgy muffins. It's the truth, Marty. I'm serious. You're laughing at me like I'm joking. Well, I know, Natty. I could kick a 300-pound man through a door. I am crazy quilting a piece of paper. It's just this is just a, hold on, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. It is one of those papers we do. It's a tea-dyed piece of paper. Oh, no, this was coffee-dyed. And now I'm crazy quilting it with glue. Yep, I have like these massive calves that could just like trash somebody. Okie dokie, so let's see. We need to do this one. I need to do it. Nope, I need to go this way. Woo, buddy. That wouldn't have been good. Okay. So I need to put some glue along here, and we're just like how you sew and you're like, and you crazy quilt and you're stitching it. We're doing the same thing. You just have to make sure that you take account for your seams. So like, I know I need the seam from this one and this one to cover. Okay. But then I know I need the seam over here too. So that's why that's there. So now I can go in here and I can finger press it. And I'm just finger pressing. Now they do have the teeny tiny little irons you can do. And then I'm just gonna, that I went way over there. I gotta clean the top of my glue off. You do want to make sure, like if you're using Fabri-Tac, because it gets gooby on top. And glue it down. Well, I always joke because, well, my grandmother was, I'm going to move this over just a little bit farther. And you just work with it as you go. I mean, there's not any major rhyme or reason to it. You just work with it, making sure that your seams go in your glue so it's sealed. And sometimes you have to work it around because, maybe I put it too tight up here. So, you just mess with it around, and you're not going to notice it because we're going to do some sewing and stuff on it. So, yeah, Maddie, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I grew up in a neighborhood mostly with boys. There was one other girl in the neighborhood, and she just was something else. But there was one other girl in the neighborhood. I grew up with boys, and in the country anyway. Yes, it's a crazy quilt. Yep, I am piecing a crazy quilt together. And the big thing is to remember to put your right sides together and make sure you have room for your seam. So, like, I may have to fit another piece on here because this one's going to be a little short, but we'll see. And it didn't kick her out. I'm surprised. Oh, we'll see, April. I got one of those too. And I would love to say it's just because I sat on it all the time, but that's not the case. It was big before I started sitting on it. So, and then remember to fold your seam. And if you go down the edge, you can sort of, catch your seam, plus you're catching your other piece of fabric in the glue. And if you get some oobly stuff or whatever, you can clean it off. It's not a big deal. And it is easier when you're not trying to talk and read comments and you're paying attention to what you're doing too. Just so everybody knows, I'm making it look more difficult than it is. I have that one spot of glue there, but there's spots on there too, so it doesn't. But I can put a bead there or a button, and that's going to cover that. Hey, Wendy! Yeah, Mom, it's called maturity. All right, let's see. Let me see what else I have. I can throw on there for a few of those little spaces. Hold on, guys. I'm looking through my scrap box. Let me use some more of this. Actually, you know what? Let me check something real fast. Yep, I actually have enough to do what I want to do, so that's good. Okay, let me wipe the glue off my hands. You guys are so funny. I am making a crazy quilt on paper. Instead of sewing it on a machine, I'm actually doing it on paper because, you know, some people don't have machines. Or maybe it's summer and you're traveling, you're camping with the kids. So, okay, I'm not going to worry about this little corner down here because I'm going to actually use this top section. And the bottom I can just cut up and use as scraps. So, now I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to go around and I want to make sure that it's glued on all the edges where we seamed it. Just because that's going to help us when we, you know, we cut it or whatever, to have everything glued down. Yes, this is called an April. You guys are so funny. My husband has little bitty chicken legs. Okay, so yep, I'm just going around making sure everything's up. Oh, this one over here is not glued. And I'm just dropping a little bit on the edges. It doesn't even have to be super awesome. That's going to bug me that I didn't do this corner down here, you guys. So I have to do this corner, so you guys just hold on. I know it's goofy, but it's one of those things. And it won't take me like 5 minutes to do. And put a little glue there so that'll hold that down. And put a little glue down that. I know that little piece is like crazy that would bother me, but it will. Just because there's paper showing through and it feels like it should be complete. It's sort of like doing a quilt and I know, right? Yes, it is. Especially, I mean, I use some bigger pieces in here, like, you know, this square and this one. But if you have little bitty scraps, it works good too. Now, you don't have to fold it and seam it. You can just, you know, glue it and then glue the other one on top and then go back over and sew over top. You can do that. I personally, and this is just a personal thing for me, I like that 3D seam, like right in the, well, right in there, that 3D seam look. I like that. I like it to look like, I mean, it looks like it's really quilted versus, you know, if I have a piece of paper, here, I'll show you real fast. If I have a piece of paper, let me just grab a couple little squares. Let's see, there's 2. Okay, here's 3. Versus if I grab a square and I go, you know, smear some glue on a page, and you can do this and it will work. It's just a different look. And put that one there and then go, okay, well, this goes up against the edge. So I just get this right up against the edge to this one. and glue it down. You know, and I push this one up here where it meets the corner with these two. Make sure, you know, that there's no like major overlap. And you can piece it together like that. So, okay. Now, that does go a lot faster doing it this way. And if you have a machine, okay, yeah, you can do that if you have a machine and you would go through. You can glue it all down real fast, and then when you get on your machine, you can just zip, 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 you know, zip through. But you can see how this looks, and you see, I mean, even when you sew it, you get that sewed over stitch. But when you fold it and create the seams, look at the difference between this one, where, you know, it's just down, and this one. You get that real quilt effect because you created those seams. And I like that seamed look. I mean, I quilt, so, you know, having that realistic look, you know, I just like that a lot. But you can do it either way. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut all the excess off around the edges of my page. And that's one of those, and you know, whether you want to glue it the way that it is, or if you want to fold it and add the seams, that's literally one of those things that's just a personal preference to what you want. Now, obviously, if you can, haul your piece of paper over the machine, use a straight stitch, sew it down, just like I did with glue. Yeah, it has a more finished look, Mindy. Are you going to see it? And the difference? Yes, you're going to be able to see the difference. I mean, if you sew it, yes, you'll be able to see the difference just because you'll have that sort of, I don't know. It's sort of like the difference between if you've ever done a tag and actually sewed a flat tag, and in the garden journal, the secret garden journal we're going to come up with, there's a difference between sewing, like, you know, a tag that has your coffee dyed paper on the back, and you know, you sew it like, oh, a standard tag. There's a difference between doing that and like putting like pattern paper between it. Am I going to sew it? Yes, as soon as I can find there it is. I was looking for my glue lid. Okay. So, I said so. I need to glue that because that's going to drive me crazy. I am one of those people. Yes, Wendy, that's it exactly. You can do it when you don't have it. You know, if you're traveling, and that's what I was saying earlier. The word for today is art. Wendy, that's one thing I said earlier. I don't think you were here yet, maybe because I think you came a little late. This is great, like to have a scrap bin. You know, like if you're on vacation, you're going camping. If you have the kids at the park, you know, you take your kids to the park, your kids are running around, and you're like, okay, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. You know, you could take 4x6 cards and a bunch of little scraps and do it. You know, when you're sitting there at the park or whatever, you know, just take like a small, like wooden or a plastic cutting board, you know, so you have a surface you can really press on, or, you know, if you have a table, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, it really makes a difference. So we're actually going to do a couple different things. Okay, guys, you're silly. Okay. So I just thread my needle and pull both strings together and knot it because I want a thicker string. I will show you the difference between doing this and like using embroidery floss. Embroidery floss is amazing the way it looks. I know Marty's trying tonight, isn't she? Okay. And I always tie it off a couple different times. Okay. So I'm just going to start here in the middle. And I'm just going to come up through the back of my page. Be careful to watch your fingers. Let's see. I'm going to do like sort of a carryover blanket stitch, I think. So basically I'm going to come up about an eighth of an inch on this side. And I'm going to go over an eighth of an inch on this side. Right like that. Then I'm going to come back up. Let me pull this down and see. Watch it. You guys are going for a ride. Okay. So right here is where I did the first stitch, and you can see where it's through there. I'm going to come up right through the very tip of that. And I like to catch the tip at least just to hold it down a little bit. And I'm just going to go down a little bit. I go about 1/4 of an inch. Sew in. And that first stitch on mine is going to be a little crooked because I went too far in on the end. Okay. Then I come over here and like I go about, you can do vary how far you want to do it. Up over to this side, down, and you can vary the stitch length. Now I will tell you, if you have different options, one of the things you can do if you don't want to hold it that way is you can get an embroidery hoop if you think that makes it easier for you. Oh, April, you're so silly. You can buy an embroidery hoop. And let me put my needle through. If you want, it will bend your paper and all that. I don't tend to do it because I just grab it and hold it but you can, and then you just put your embroidery hoop together. You guys all hopefully know how embroidery hoops work. And you can put it through there, and then you actually have, a flat surface that's going to give you some resistance to do it. I like doing it by hand. That's just me. But I quilt by hand too, so. Okie doke. So here we go. And I'm going to come up and find that end that I had. Staying right in the seam between the two. And I'm going to go down. And I tend to go from one side to the other, so I sort of bounce my sides. And no, April, that's not a dance move. And then go over. And you can see, from the end to as you work your way through. And then I always come up on the other side just to sort of tack that thread down and give it a little bit more support. And go down. And you can vary that. You can do zigzag. You can do, straight stitch. You can do all kinds of little stitches. You guys are so funny. Like, see, that one I went out a little bit farther, but I really don't mind occasionally doing like a crazy one, because it does give it a different look. Like, see, if you go a little wider. It's not going to catch it. There. I'm too close. Okay. So I'm going to pull my thread up. Okay. And then I'm going to reach. Let's see what color I'm working with. Purples and pinks. Oh, let's. Oops, I opened it upside down. let's use this sort of bluish color that sort of no, April. I'm just doing this as this one I probably won't. I'm just using it as an example. I have done it. Okay, so what I do, and this is just me, is hopefully you guys can see. I'll try to pull it up close so you guys, as close as I can, is I'll pull through. And like right here in the fabric, I'll catch, remember how we did the hexes? We caught just a few strings. Okay. I'll catch up and do like that. Just so it, you know, my thread is right there at the top of, yeah, I'm just sort of doing a crazy blanket stitch. Then I'll come up to the top. I'll run my bead. And this is just a little, one of the little teeny beads. Okay. And then I go where I came in and I tacked it at that top right there. Hopefully you guys can see this. I go right back down through the seam like that. And as I pull through, that's going to pull my bead. So then, let me pull my thread because one of my threads is, there you go. And then I've got my bead on my project. So you can add beads and everything. So, yeah. And then you can just continue on with the same stitch. Or, you know, you can, every so many stitches, do it. I'm just trying to give you a sample. Sorry, guys, I keep switching around because trying to do this under a camera is a little bit different than if I was doing it. Yes, you can do sequins, you can do lace, you literally can do anything you can sew anything you want on there. Buttons, you know, little fabric bows, flowers, I mean, just anything you want, ribbon. You know, it's just whatever you can imagine to put on there. No, it isn't. It's harder getting through the paper part. What's hard is because I'm trying to do this around a camera. If I was doing it without, you know, the camera over top of me, it would be a little bit easier. But yeah, it's no harder than, if you've quilted, it's no harder than quilting because, you know, you have that multiple layers. But I didn't use cardstock. I am using just 24-pound. Oh, hi, Kathy's World. Yeah, the camera is hard to do if you're trying to do it around a camera because I'm trying to look around the camera and do it. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. And I mean, you can vary your lengths and all of that. And it doesn't take that long once you get going. And I sort of flip-flop back and forth and, you know. But I like it, you know. So that's why I only use glue really on the seams. I don't really worry about, you know, getting the fabric down because I'm going to sew it. Sorry about that, guys. My throat's a little scratchy today. It's rained and been nasty all day. Well, not all day. Then I got to see my mom today. My mom and dad came over for a while and brought my baby home. Not that my baby, you know, is 18. He just really doesn't need mom, but yeah, moms always need their babies. So yeah, by going down the seam, I'm sort of creating the faux blanket stitch versus, you know, like a normal blanket stitch because I'm cheating and just crossing and doing 2 at once. You know, or sometimes, well, it depends sort of how you're doing it. You can use your machine after you've got it done and run through it. Well, you can sew it on the machine too. You can glue it like this and sew it, but you know, my thing is if I'm going to pull the machine out, I'll just piece it on it there too. So another thing you can do, and I'm not going to do it tonight is you can take and copy a picture, like say a black and white outline picture of, say, a cat setting, right? On your piece of paper, then take it, add fabric to the back, whatever fabric you want to, and then cut around that image, and then you'll have like a crazy quilt cat. So you can do a lot of different things. I'm going to put another bead on. And like I said, this is just and you can put as many beads on or less or not put beads on it. I mean, it's totally up to you. I have a harder time finding. And then you just go back in the same hole. Pull it, then and you just keep moving it around. I don't worry about crinkling the paper up because we did that one totally crazy. That one I split in half instead of doing all the same. So I'll just go down there and hide it. And you can use like gold or silver like embroidery thread. You need to know how to tie what off? How to tie the thread off? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna switch to some embroidery thread here in a minute and just show you how the difference is. Why are you feeling stupid just because you had to ask a question? That's silly. Okay, well, hold on a second and I will show you. Okay, so I went back just like that, and then I come right up next or even in the same hole that I went down a while ago. I come up, I'm going to go straight back down where I did. And this is just how I do it because I like to have that double tack at the end. I'll flip it open and over, and you can see I'm not worried about how messy it is because this is just regular thread. So it's not as thick. Then I just run my needle under some of those threads and hold the loop. When I hold the loop, just take my needle and put it through the loop and pull it. Then I run it back under those same threads because I always tie mine off twice. Grab the loop. You can do it once. I just shove my needle through the hole and pull. And then I always cut mine off and I leave about a 1/16 of an inch or so. And then I always just put a dab of glue there, sort of wipe it down, and I do the same thing at the other end. I need to trim it still though. And that's just me because I like to know that, you know, those strings are secured. Well, I'll just rub it down. And you can actually leave the whole thread on there if you want. Just rub it down. Then I'll give it a little bit of time to... Yeah, if you have a question, ask away. Okay, so there's that one. So let me show you what it looks like. And see, I've got the two beads that sort of match the blue next to it. So it just adds a little bit of pretty to it. Okay. Then one of my embroidery flax boxes. Yes, these are organized because I'm crazy. Let's see, what color do I want to use? I want to keep using black, I think. Let me keep using black because that's going to be the best to compare. It is. You can get these little boxes at Walmart, and the little things you can buy for a little bit of nothing. Or you can make them yourself. And I'm just going to cut it off. And then when I figure out where I did my needle, what I did with my needle, oh, there it is. Woohoo! Losing my mind. And I do have a big-eyed needle. You want to make sure you don't pick just like a regular sewing needle. If you're going to use embroidery thread, you want something with a bigger needle, a bigger hole in the end. And I'm trying to do this around my camera, guys, so give me a second. Well, hold on. This is hard to do. Hold on, you guys know how to thread a needle, surely, right? Everybody knows how to thread a needle? Oh, I have no idea, dear. Yep, you have until 10:30 tomorrow to enter the Say It Sunday. Well, let me... Hold on, I'm trying to get it in here, guys. Sorry about this. Welcome to old age, even with my glasses on. Oh, well, April, you will have to watch last night's video. Oh, and you missed out on something really awesome, so you may want to watch that. Oh, see, yeah, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Come on. I'm going to have to get a bigger needle, I think. Let me grab a bigger needle, guys. This one's not playing nice. Hold on, I'm seeing if I got one with a bigger hole. I need a bigger hole for my yarn. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, it's a challenge in the Facebook group. And basically you just have to create something, and it's the whole purpose is just to challenge you to make something. It does not matter what. You can color a coloring book page if you want and write the word. Ta-da! See how that works when you get one that has a bigger hole? Okay. And I'm going to tie off my end. Okay. And this is embroidery floss. I did not, and if you're familiar with embroidery floss, Marty, in the group, we have what we call Say It Sunday. And Say It Sunday, we pick a word. And we just try to use a different creative word every week. I think we've did love, we've did patience, we've did friendship, we've did create, I think, and now art, I think. Don't quote me on that. Maybe we didn't. And you just create something using that word. Okay, so, and it doesn't matter what it is, and then you just post it on the page. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna find my little space down here, and I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna come about a 1/16 of an inch on the side of the seam. And embroidery thread versus regular thread. And like, here is the difference. This is the size of regular thread. It's one strand. Embroidery floss is 6 strands. So you can see the difference between the darkness of the two if you're not familiar. So I'm actually going to use all 6 strands and show you the difference using the same stitch. But I'll try to make my stitches longer so it won't be as crazy. Okay, so I'm going to backpedal to the start of my seam. Okay. Because there is a big difference. I am not going to embroider a flower today. I actually have a ton of embroidery type stuff, and I may do oh yeah, and you get a free digital kit. Okay, that's not true. Yes, you get a free digital kit, but you get to pick what kit you want, which makes it even better because then you get the ones you actually want. Oops, I got my tail. I grabbed my own tail. Yeah, if you go in and search Say It Sunday, it's usually right on Sundays. It's usually right there in the top post. And every Sunday a new Say It Sunday pops up. Yep, and you get a free kit. Can't beat that. Can't beat a freebie. That didn't want to push through there. And like I said, I don't worry about what the back looks like. Because, you know, nobody's going to see that but me. Sorry, guys. One thing with using embroidery thread is it is thicker. Oh, did I miss Carol? Hey, Carol. Carol's in the house. What are you eating good for lunch? What are you eating for lunch? Okay, I must have missed her coming in just now because I didn't see it. And then I just seen all the hi Carols pop up. Carol's my special friend. All the way from Australia. And she's a sweetheart. So, like, okay, I'm working on this. I'm trying to make my stitches a little bit bigger, but can you see the difference in the threads already? I mean, just how pronounced it is. Yeah. Miss Carol's been around for a while. Yes, it is. It's bigger, it's bolder. You can do bigger stitches. You know, it's more pronounced. And, you know, if you're familiar with embroidery floss, you can get it in so many colors. And it doesn't take a lot. I pulled that off. And sorry, Elizabeth, I was not ignoring you. I think I got sidetracked. I pull off usually about 2 feet. So, you know, it's not a lot. I mean, you see how little these are, and I mean, there's still a ton on there. And I mean, you can get extreme when you're doing it if you want to draw attention. I mean, you can vary the length of your stitches, which creates it. You can, let me decide where I want to be. Yeah, we're about here. You can make it extremely pronounced and do really big stitches, or do I wasn't ignoring you. Yep, I am going to be doing that. So, are you talking about the ones I showed last night? Those are made out of ribbon. Those aren't embroidery thread. That is made out of 4mm. Those are made out of 4mm silk ribbon. I do love Elizabeth. Elizabeth, she knows that. And it is sort of cute. I'm at that point at the corner where it's hard to hold one side or the other, so it's like sort of weird. Let me sort of show you this, because you can just vary and it makes a big difference just in the length. I told you. I love those gel prints. Some of those are gorgeous. Especially the butterflies. I love the butterflies. Okay, and then I'm going to go back out and do another large one, like back here. And look at the difference, how neat this looks. Let me go over here and do this, and I'll do another small one on the seam. Oh, on how much I used, the length of the thing, I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. Like I said, I use about 24 inches, if that's what you're talking about. You're so funny. The thing of it is, if you do catch a knot like this, slip your needle in there and try to pull it out. Because if not, you will get it in a knot, and then you'll have a knot. You'll have to take it out. And I know April was gone yesterday, not talking today. I think she's angry at somebody. Did somebody do something? They're silly, aren't they, Carol? I'm telling you. Okay, so here's where I was doing the regular stitch that, you know, was about the same length. Then you can see where, I mean, that's a bad stitch because I did it crooked. But you can do the big ones, and it just creates a different look along the way. So, I mean, you can literally, you know, decorate it however you want. So I'm going to go ahead and, now that I'm here on this side, I am going to go out, and I go out about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit bigger, and back to the hole I came in. Okay. Then I'm going to go down, about 3/8 of an inch maybe, and come up, and then I'm going to go back down this hole. And then I'm going to come out about 1/4 of an inch, about 3/8 of an inch down. Right like that. Pull through, back down. Yes, Elizabeth, I have some embroidery. I have tons of embroidery floss. I have a bunch of embroidery stitches and things too, that I do. But I'm thinking about doing those as a series, just like with the ribbon stitches, and just, you know, doing maybe like 2 or 3 stitches each week, or, you know, maybe twice, you know, a couple days a week. So you can slowly add to your thing. And I want to do that. I want to actually do it and take pictures or a video of them, and then, you know, upload the pictures with the exact directions, so you can sort of make like a little dictionary or encyclopedia of embroidery stitches that you could use on your journals. Because, you know, you can watch somebody do it, but then when you're not watching it, yeah, it's just a zigzag with embroidery thread. And I'm not worried about it being straight because I like that wonky. Yeah, you can do a sampler. Yes. So, and I mean, that's probably what we would do, is start with just a plain piece of cotton, and, you know, make a little embroidery sampler, you know, with, yep, hold on just a second. And though I don't worry, I don't look at the back. If you haven't noticed, I don't flip it over and check the back. I don't care what the back looks like, because I'm going to sew it down on something else. So, or not sew it down, I'm going to glue it onto something else. So let me get over here to the end, and I just go out to, you know, just about a 1/16 from the edge. Now you have two different options. Yeah, like a little book with so many pages, you know, and different. So like that's just sort of a zigzag. So see, it just sort of adds, and that's what the back looks like. But see, I don't. If I was doing this like as a sampler, because I don't really, you know, the backs always look sort of weird. What I would do, for example, I'll use this since it's scrap anyway, is like when I come out right here at, you know, a 1/16 of an inch, I would come back in right up at the edge, right along the edge like that. Then I would just line my pages up and hold them. And then what I would do is just sew the edges of my pages together. And I'm just, you know, coming up about a 1/16 of an inch, you know, about a 1/4 of an inch each time, and then going back down the hole that was there. Whoops, got my finger. And see, I would just sew like that. So then it's sewed together. So see, when you have it sewed all the way around, the edges, not only do you get this nice dark finished line around the top. Yes, a stem stitch. No, that's a straight stitch. Just a straight back stitch is what that is. A stem stitch, actually, you angle. This is just a back stitch. You come up and you take your stitch, like from where your last stitch is. You come up however far you want to. And I mean, you could do it inches. You could do it a 1/2 inch, whatever length you want to. You come up and then you just go back down the hole, which is why it's called a back stitch. You're stitching backwards. Good night, Wendy. Thank you. And it's just a back stitch. So you just come up in front of your stitch. And go down. Now, on the other hand, you can sort of do like a basting switch. No, I'm not overlapping. When you do a stem stitch, it's different. If I was doing a stem stitch, I would come up like this, go back through the hole, like that. And then when I come back up, instead of coming up in front, like we did here to do the back stitch, for a stem stitch, you come back. Let me get through the paper here. You come back right to the side, a little bit behind the stitch you did before. On the right-hand side. And then you go forward and come down. They're two separate stitches. That's a stem stitch. That's how you create like a stem for a flower. And you can curve it. Come up like that. And that's what you call a stem stitch. Because you're creating like a stem look. And then when you get there, you can do a lot of things. You can come up right directly in front of where you are. And you literally can make little bitty stitches. Just like you're drawing, basically like you're drawing a picture, and I use a back stitch when I do that. That's just my, and you can curve it. Yeah, she's tired. They come from their trip from Tennessee and all that. And then they got back yesterday. And then they had church and everything today. So they run around doing all that. So they left Thursday and when they went to Tennessee and did all that. Then they came back, had church today. So she's had a really long weekend. So, I mean, you literally can. See, I can use that as the flower petal of one petal for my flower. You know, and you can make it bigger. Now, one thing you can do, let me see what I did with my pencil. One thing you can do, if you have a lighter color fabric and say you want to create a flower, you can take your pencil and draw, say that's the center of my flower. There's my other circle, my other circle, and then a circle. I might be able to do this better with marker. Let me see. I was trying to find a marker or a pen. Maybe a pen will work. Okay. Okay, so you can actually take your pen and draw your flower on there. Then all you have to do is take your thread, like I did the little center, you're going to come up and this is the best way if you want to sort of like freehand draw a flower. Then I'm just going to you guys are so funny. And then I'm just basically, I'm going to do a simple back stitch, which is where you come up and you go back down behind. Then you come up in front. And you're going to go back behind. I'll try to do bigger stitches so I can hurry this up. Which means, and I mean, the smaller your stitches, the more round you can get it. But you sort of do get that embroidered look if you just want to do an outline stitch. And that's basically what that is. You're just outlining. It's sort of like a pencil drawing or charcoal or, you know, whatever you want to use. Whatever floats your fancy. Now, I will tell you, if you want to embroider like flowers or anything on there, it's a whole lot easier to do it on the fabric before you put on. Hi, Beverly. How are you tonight? And I did get everybody's messages and yep, Cheryl, you can do that too. I was just showing the outline right now because with outline, you can literally draw any design if you want to do words or whatever. Oh, I'm doing good. What's in the closet? You don't want to know what's in her closet. And I'm going to run out of thread before we get here. But I want, maybe not. We'll see. I'll be cutting it close. But like some things specifically, like if I'm doing flowers or if you want to write people's names or oh, lots and lots and lots. I love doing this stuff. The more crazy it is, the better. See, like I'm sort of missed my outline there, so I'm gonna pull it up a little bit. then if I go to the side and push down, that's sort of going to control that and make it go where it needs to go. There we go. Nope, I am going to run out, I think. I might be able to pull it off. You're really close. What do you have in your closet? I'm pushing it to the level, to the brink here, guys, trying to get it all the way around because I should have put a little bit more. And that's one thing to remember. It's always better to have too much than not enough. Yes, everybody, their comments and your Facebook messages and your emails, I got them all. And I will be contacting you guys probably tomorrow. It might be Tuesday, depending on what all I get done. You kept thinking what would make awesome covers? Oh, her rug. I know. I love that rug. Hey, Lori, I'll trade you a Lori for your rug. But you have to pay shipping. Well, here we go again. Oh, well. I can't get it on there, so I'm going to glue it down. Oh, yeah. If you're interested in doing anything fun, you might want to check out last night's. And then I was doing that through the back page, too, where I'd already... I know, right? So, see? And you can just follow. You can just follow your drawing and create whatever little design you want to, which is really cute. The best I can say is you need to go watch the video from last night, and it's going to be like probably the last half hour because it's too hard to explain and go through everything and start all that again. So there you go. So see the little flower. Oops. So let me get my needle out of the way. And I'm going to go in here and actually cut this off because okie dokie. So I'm going to grab this simple little bag, right? Let me fix that little piece right there. Dag nabbit. No. Oh, you guys didn't let me that finished. I needed that finished. Yep, you'll just have to go check it out. Oh, thank you, Carol. Let me seam this up really fast. And you can't do that. You don't have to do it like, if it's a little piece, they're a lot easier to do. Oh, nope, it's towards the end. It's towards the end. We had a whole discussion, and it's all towards the end. It's worth going back and watching. Have some fun things coming. If you like being involved in things. Now, if you just are here to watch the videos and you don't really want to do anything else, then don't waste your time. Okie dokie. That works. There. See how perfect that is? Okay. So I am going to put some glue on the back of my bag. And if you give me a second, I will tell you the size of this. I forgot to write it down. They're just like simple school lunch bags. Just a plain old little generic lunch bag. Elizabeth. Don't give them any hints. Make them work for it. Okay, so let me, yep, I want to make sure I get all of the pretty. So I'm actually going to scoot this up so I get almost all of it. This one little, no, I'll just do it along the edge down here, I guess. It is. It's going to be fun, you guys. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited. I actually have some other things that, yes, they need to watch for the exact details. Yeah, Mom got to see some of them live today, my flowers, when she was over. She liked the little rose that I did, and I have no idea. It walked off. I think my daughter stole it. Okay. Let me grab my thing of bags so I can tell you what size these are. Okay, I got these at Meijer, and they're just regular standard lunch bags. They're the self-standing ones with the flat bottoms, not fat bottoms, flat bottoms. And then they're easy to open. It was 100 bags. I think I paid like $3 for it. They are 5 1/8 inch by 3 1/8 inch by 10 5/8 inch. And they're just your school lunch bags. Okay, so got that down. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut along the edge, and I'm not cutting all the way up to my bag, but right next to it. Again, don't cut your bag. Just cut right next to it. And if you have to hold the flap out of the way in the back, I always have to move it out of the way because it sort of blocks the view. I know, but yes, but wait a minute. It's going to be so cute. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm going to cut a little bit of just a tiny bit of hangover down here and along the edge. Lori, if you got it, flaunt it, honey. We should all just be glad there's a whole sect of men out there who like it. Oh no, that's the best part about cutting something up. Okay. So I am going to go along and make sure all of my edges are glued down because these were Remember, these were inside, so you need to make sure you cut those little or glue those little edges down. And it doesn't take a lot of glue, just a little bit to tack it down. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on that seam right there. Normally, I would have done, you know, the crazy quilting everywhere, but I'm doing this, trying to do this in one video so I can show you. So, and you can do anything with this, anything you would use, paper. So if you want to cover it or whatever, lots of little things to do. Okay. So okay, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to glue right along the edge. Just glue this all up. This little flap. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to glue this little flap. You could sew the bag up. I don't, because I don't want this flap sewed down. I'm going to take glue right here and glue it down. Flip it around. And you can use your art glitter glue, Elmer's, you know, whatever kind of glue you want to use for that. Make sure you do it straight though and not crooked like I just did. Because sometimes with these little bags, when you buy them, they are a little bit crooked. That's just the manufacturer. So you may have to sort of refold them and scoot them around to position them. Okay. So then my little piece I have left is just wide enough to cover that. So I'm going to throw some glue on here. Make sure you give it a nice coat of glue, guys. Never be afraid to use the glue. And if you need more, just call Lori. She's got a bunch. I'm sure she'd help a sister out. Now Lori's going to get all these phone calls. Seriously, Lori, you're so funny. Okie dokie. I like this blue and yellow page, so I am actually going to turn this way because I want to line this up right along with this edge over here. Nope, I seen the whole thing about, believe it or not, I do this while I'm watching the screen. So I actually did see Lori's little comment about walking funny. And then I'm going to cut this off again. Sorry, April. And I'm going to trim this little piece off the end because, you know, don't really need that. Okay. You guys are horrid. Then I'm going to put glue on this just around the two corners like that. Don't go all the way. Oh, you guys are so silly. My mom used to be such a nice person. And then I introduced her to you guys. That was cut a little crooked. I need to straighten that out. Pull. Oh, sorry guys. I was gluing that down over here. And then I'm just going to go along this edge right here. And glue up to there. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to trim this off. So out of that entire page, let me a little. Okay. Oh, I'll use my art glitter glue. Oh, by now, Laura, you should stay home and play. And I'm just going to go through here, out to here, and put some glue so it'll hold. Making sure that I don't glue this part down here. So, or you know what? Let's pull this off here. Let's pull this off. Let's me find. Let's go. I know. I'm trying not to work off screen, but it's hard to do with cutting that. Okay, so I have, out of that page we made, I have this left, and I have this left. And this I can use for something. I just haven't figured out yet. Okay, so real fast, because I don't want to take all night. And I know it's getting close. I know people do. Now I'm going to come in and just sort of straighten this up and cut about 1/16 of an inch off of it. Okay. Are you guys staying up with me? Does everybody know what I'm doing so far? Or are you guys totally lost? You guys are being too silly to pay attention to me, aren't you? And I got to thread my needle again. Hold on, guys. Just hard to do with. Okay. let me grab my pokey tool. Now this is going to be a little bit harder with this because, of course, I'm going through all that fabric, but it will go. I'm going to do one on the side, one in the middle, and again, one about an inch up, right like that. I am going to go through the middle, just like we're doing a signature. Hold it. Now, going through these is a little bit harder, so you have to then go down. Again, you're going to come through the middle just like we do when we do a signature. Make sure you come up on the opposite side of the thread, or the embroidery floss in this case. Pull it tight. Tie it off. Tie it off. I'm actually going to do it 3 times. And then I'm going to trim it. Okay, so we have our cute little cover, which I like. I like the little flower. And I mean, you could put lace around the edges if you want to. I sort of like the scrappy look that you get when you do it. We have our signature sewed in. We got our back. And you can always go and, you know, sew more to the back of it if you want to. Just going through, you know, if you want to sew a button or whatever, you can go through and just literally pick up just the fabric where we sewed it and do that. Okay, so you open it up and let me find, oh, there's a card. I found a card. We have the slide-in pocket right there. Let me fold the little tag in half. And hold on. Let me put a little glue down the spine, little glue down the spine. See, you know why I keep going off screen, you guys? Because I'm used to being way back up and I zoomed in because of the sewing. That's why I keep going off screen and I don't realize it. I'm sorry. I'm determined to use like all the little scraps except that one little one. That one little one I can't use because it's just, well, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Let me straighten this out. Trim it off. Ink it up. I've got a little book and it'll fit right in my little tuck spot. You have my little pages and you can add as many pages as you want. And of course you can decorate those. Then let me grab, what do I have? Oh, I have a couple. Oh, nope, I've got, hold on. Let me find one that matches. Ooh, that one does. Hold on. We'll bling her out. I have a little, it's just a little bitty notepad. Just a simple sewed down the spine notepad, just cute. It's just regular copy paper. Slide it down in its little pocket so you have additional thing. And I mean, you can put anything you want in there. And then you've got the back. And if you wanted to put a closure, all you would have to do is, you know, take a little piece of fabric and adhere like, oh, anything you wanted to. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what I got here. Let me find them. Okay, so I could take this and glue it to the back. I'm not going to because it's not finished. And I don't want it finished. But, okay, say if I finished it, then I can put this right here. And then these are the little double-sided Velcro dots. You put a little Velcro dot right there, and it even have a little closure to hold it closed. So see? And I mean, honestly, if you wanted, I mean, I think it's cute. If you had somebody you wanted to give like a, yeah, Velcro dots or magnets, you know, if you have somebody you want to give, and I mean, you can go through and clean it up and, you know, the glue goobers on the outside, you know, get with it, decorate this up, you know, throw a couple tags in there, glue down some die cuts, that type of thing. And you know, if you had something you wanted to give somebody for just a sweet little occasion or something, it's cute. I need to trim that up though. That's all crooked. Now, technically, I'm hoping I did that. Let's see if I did it right. Now, technically, if you take that bag and you trim it just a hair, just a tad hair, and then take your scissors and clip it, you can actually open that up. Well, here we go. I'll just use these. And you have a little tucky spot there too. The best way to attach Velcro, I find, you can use Fabri-Tac and it does okay. But I find if you just take a needle, or if you have a sewing machine, you know, just, you know, run back and forth over it. Yeah, but I mean, seriously, if you know, if you had, you know, a friend that had their birthday, or, you know, you just want to just a pick-me-up thing, or, you know, maybe if you had a, and I mean, you could make these pages, this just happened to be the size that I cut them, the way I folded them. You could make them to where they fit. So, I mean, technically, I won't because my flower is there, but had, you know, have you decided there's a different way, you could have cut this a little bit shorter than the back, or folded it, you know, I could have folded it like this. If I'd have folded it like this would have lent this tab to come over, and it could have been even sealed from the front. But yeah, it's a cute little journal. I mean, just a pick-me-up journal, a feel better journal. You know, cute for like a little gift bag for the grandkids. You know, especially if they like to draw or whatever, just put some blank pages in there. You know, they've got something to draw, and you don't necessarily have to even use, you know, the quilted. I gave bird on that. That needs trimmed. You don't even have to, you don't even have to use the quilted thing. I mean, you could use just regular fabric, you know, or cardstock. You know, if you want to throw one together really fast, throw it on cardstock. You guys, seriously, if you use a piece of decorated cardstock, you pretty much, you know, have one piece out here, a piece that matches for here, a piece that matches for here. Technically, before you add these, you could cover this whole back part even with one. Yeah, so I mean, there's just a ton of things that you could do. Yeah, throw a little flower on there, a little decorative flower, you know, that matches, because this one really doesn't match even though it's. I was trying to find my one little yellow one. Hold on. There we go. I mean, how cute is that? Oh, yeah, sorry. Oops, I ran my art glitter glue everywhere. Hold on, guys, just a second. And I didn't finish all the text because I was too busy. I got too excited. Okay, so yeah, you've got this part up here. If you open the bag up, you've got this. You have any tucks you put on here. You have this back here. And you could actually put any kind of big thing back here. And honestly, if you're making it, if you could actually, let me see if I can still get them open. Yeah, see, it still opens. It still opens. So technically, I could take 2 pieces of paper and, you know, cut it to size and drop one on this side, one on this side with glue on it and attach it in the middle and have 2 pockets on the back. And then I got gloopers everywhere. And then technically you could still put another pocket out here. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you could put the green flower if you wanted the green flower, or with the little yellow flowers, you could put the yellow flower up there. I mean, you literally could, you know, and it, like if you didn't have this here, you know, something like that in the corner would just add so much. So yeah, nothing to it. And these are nice to keep on hands for a real fast gift. Now, let me tell you, because I know you guys are zoomed in, so it may be harder for you to tell. The finished journal is 5 and 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. So I mean, you've got a nice, handy sized journal. Yeah, this does sort of have that. So yeah, you could Velcro it and be able to interchange your flowers according to what your mood is. I mean, how cute would it be if you had a, you gave it to a granddaughter or something, and give her maybe, like 5 or 6 different style flowers, where you could change them all in and out. It would be so cute. I mean, little girls love that kind of thing. But yeah, you can do this with scrapbook paper. A ton of little things. You could die cut like little girl images, and have them Velcroed where they could change the girl on the front, or you could die cut like the days of the week and they could change the days of the week. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff you could do. It's sort of endless, but that was all out of that one little page that we made. I mean, the page we made in 2 pieces, no, 3 because we backed it. So the fabric page that we made, the paper we put on the back of it, and then this was, let's see, 2 pages. Yeah. So yes, I think it's perfect. So yeah, you could. Oh yeah, you could put a simple little picture on there. There's a ton of things you could do. You could do it with pink and like more delicate colors. And just for an example, like this is purple, so I could put that die cut on there. I mean, how cute is that? Or here, this is really cute. What about that? A cute little basket. So I mean, yeah, you could do a ton of different little things. Do a little woodland journal. With a little die cut on. I mean, you could do a ton of things. Lots and lots of ideas. A little bouquet. This sort of looks really cute, especially with that there, because it sort of looks like it leads up to it. So I mean, there's a ton of things you could do. Yeah. Ouch! I ran over my foot. But yeah, so hopefully that'll give you some ideas. And if you make one, throw it up in the Facebook group. I'd love to see it. And you still got your 2 little things to make your charms. You could take a sewing machine or even hand sew, 2 little ribbons on the end and tie it with a really pretty bow. I think she likes it. Yeah. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Share it if you want. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you watched the video from yesterday, make sure to get a hold of me and contact me. And see, I think that's really cute over here. I like that sort of on the spine. Yeah, I like it down here. in that little square. I don't know why. But yeah, and I'm in the process of, give me a couple weeks because I am in the process of sort of doing a Stixtionary. Oh, April, you're so sweet. You're funny. But yeah, so I'm sort of coming up with a Stixtionary. So we will see, and I will get that done. I'm working on it, and hopefully, maybe by next week, maybe on Thursday, since that's the ephemera base day, I might try to have that done. It'll basically be like this, and what we may do is create a cover like this to do it. But instead of paper pages, we'll have fabric pages. And we'll learn different stitches that we can use, like hand stitches that we can use in journals. Sherry, I will, once everybody contacts me, leave me a message, a comment, or whatever. I have not had time to do anything this weekend. It has been crazy. I will start a sort of a Facebook chat for everybody. If you're on Facebook, if you are not on Facebook, then I will try to contact you whatever way I need to contact you to let you know when we get everything done. Yes, Mindy, I got yours. I did get yours. So yeah, and that'll give everybody that maybe missed last night, because I know people can't be here every day and some people work and all kinds of things. And maybe you just want to do something besides listen to me every night. I totally understand that. There's days I don't want to listen to me, so I completely understand. That'll give everybody a chance to sort of watch the video from last night, Saturday Night Live. Watch that video, and it'll sort of explain at the end. And if you're sort of interested in that, or you're interested in that, then get a hold of me and we will go from there. And I will contact everybody either tomorrow or Tuesday. I won't promise tomorrow. I'm going to try tomorrow, but I won't promise tomorrow. It may be Tuesday, just because there's so much stuff going on. But I still like the green one better. But yeah, so you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Take care, and if you make any cute little booklets, I don't know we can call this the Beverly. This can be the Beverly. What do you guys think? I'm trying to come up with names for everything, which is horrid because it's hard to remember what's what. But yeah, it's really cute. I like it. So you guys have a great evening. Take care. Be safe. Be healthy. And we will see you back here again tomorrow at 9 p.m. We will be working and finishing up on our My Dearest Jane journal in the next couple days. Woo woo, Beverly. So you guys all take care, and we will see you tomorrow back to work on the My Dearest Jane. Have a great night. Love you guys. Thank you for your support, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night.